What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Doubted. My name's Christian Montuano, and today I'm here with Cam Hailey. Cam, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good. Cam, start off. Just tell everybody what graduating class you are, your high school AAU program, and then what state you're from.
So I'm in a class of 26. I go to Worcester Academy, play for Expressions Elite, and I'm from Boston, Mass.
Okay, so have had some expressions, New England region guys on the podcast previously. The New England region is really a place in the United States where basketball was started up there, and it's just an area that takes the game really serious. Just from Boston, great college programs in the area, great high school programs as well. So early on, like, just what do you remember specifically about playing basketball growing up in that area, and just what has that experience been like for you?
Yeah, growing up in Boston and playing in Boston, like we've we got a lot of guys that have come out of here, come out of New England. We got a lot of guys that are in college now. Just playing around here, like the city, the state loves basketball. Like in the summer, got a lot of summer tournaments going on. The whole city, the whole state pops out, and it's just a fun time. So just playing in environments down here, I feel like it's real slept on. Like you don't really understand what it's like until you come down here and play. So I feel like that's really shaped my game playing in these tough environments.
Why do you think you guys are slept on, or just what is that mindset where you guys are like, all right, when we're on the national stage, we got to show them what we're all about?
Yeah, I honestly I don't really know why we're slept on. I feel like it's because it's a small state. It doesn't get a lot of recognition, but we just have so many guys that come out of here and that play at the next level, and some are even pros. So I feel like we all just show it on the national stage because we all carry that chip on our shoulder to really put the state on the map.
And then early on for you, how would you say your basketball journey began? Was it like your parents, a specific, coach or mentor you had? Just who brought the game to you?
My dad, he played at Boston College. Definitely him. Like he put the ball in my hands at a young age. He had me shooting on the little mini hoop at my grandmother's house ever since I was young. He really instilled the game in me.
Your father playing at Boston College, just for your relationship with him, what were some of those early values, early principles that he gave to you that you would say really helped you on the basketball court and helped transform you into the player you are right now?
Having a great attitude, being coachable, treating your teammates and your coaches with the utmost respect. He instilled that in me at a young age, and also like if you want to be good, if you want to be great, you're gonna have to work for it. Like it's not just gonna be handed to you. Like you have to sharpen your skills every day. So I feel like that helped me within my game and as a person. I carry those skills with me throughout life.
I think one thing that really stands out about you particular on the court is just your IQ for the game and how you get the people around you involved, but also creating for yourself as well. Would you say that's something that you really developed at a young age? Just that IQ and being, I mean, just a point guard, like straight up, I think you're just a point guard, you facilitate, get everybody involved. When you think of a point guard, I think like your game really, that's what your game is. So would you say that's something that you've really always had, or when would you say that developed?
I feel like the IQ came with just being in gym at a young age, being around my dad at a young age. So I feel like it just came, seeing him work guys out, seeing him put together college and pro runs and being around college and pros at a young age. I feel like that's where my IQ really came in, just being around the game every day at a young age.
So you said like college pro runs. Is there any player you remember watching at those runs, or just any guy that you really looked up to and wanted to model your game after, or just maybe you took some things from different players' games? Like who were some of those early influences for you at those runs, or even just basketball like around the world in general?
Yeah, so Shabazz Napier, that's my uncle. I played at UConn for 2 years, won a
Yeah.
national championship. So being around him at a young age, like I said, that's my uncle. So seeing him do what he did at UConn, seeing what he would do in the gym with my dad, I feel like that really helped. And people say to this day like they see a lot of me in him, and I think that's because being around him at such a young age.
When you like him in particular, just super clutch clutch player, clutch performer, one of the best, or just a guy when you think of March Madness, you think of the run that him and his team had in the national, getting to the national championship and winning it in the 2010s, and maybe just that run in particular, and then also Kemba Walker's run with UConn, and then just some other teams in the New England region that have had great college seasons, great college programs. Being so close to guys like that, was that a sense of inspiration and motivation for you, just knowing the work that these guys put in? And I'm sure having conversations with your dad and just feeling really invested and close to those guys and just those teams in general. What would you say, was it about that, or just how did that inspire you to be great and get to the next level?
Yeah, for sure. When Shabazz was at UConn, I seen the run. I would go to games. I would be in the dorms with him, Kemba, Jeremy Lamb. I'll be in the dorms with all of them. So I say just being around that at a young age, that really helped me and inspired me to say, yeah, I wanna get to college one day. So yeah.
It seems like you've took the game serious pretty much your whole life, just being around guys that were great and got to the highest level you could possibly get in the game. So I feel like that aspiration or that drive was probably in you from a very young age. But when would you say you really saw your game transcend to just a different level where, like, you realize you really could make it to the college level? Because I think just your mindset develops before your game actually does. Like, I'm sure in your mind you always knew you wanted to get there, but then your game kind of had to develop into that point where you realize that could really become a reality. So when would you say that moment was, or just that a specific maybe season or time where you remember, all right, like this this is going to happen, or when you realize that you could get to that next level?
I would say I started consistently working out around 14. So as the years went on, as I kept putting work in, I kept seeing myself get better. And I started seeing the kids that, that were better than me and were more physically developed at a young age. Once I started seeing me start surpassing them in my skill level, I started realizing like, yeah, like I have a chance at getting to the next level.
And so high school, you're at Worcester Academy. Have you always been at that program all your high school years?
No, I was at Lawrence Academy my freshman and first sophomore year. After my first sophomore year, I actually broke my foot. So I played one game that whole year. I had COVID, then came back, played one game, broke my foot the next day in practice. So then after that sophomore year, I transferred to Worcester Academy.
That injury, would you say that was like a big moment for you just in terms of like how you bounce back from that? Because I know injuries, especially, like your foot, I'm sure you were out for a considerable amount of time with that. What do you remember about just coming off of that injury, and maybe like the drive you had just to get back on the court and get to back to where you were, or even surpassing that?
Yeah. Once I when I broke my foot coming back, I seen myself go through a lot of adversity. I kept re-injuring my foot, and that was tough, but I kept pushing through. So I say that definitely helped me get through that adversity. Definitely helped me transform me into the player I am today.
Sure. And at Worcester Academy, just how would you describe, like, since you've been there? I know COVID and all that. I mean, that was just a time. Like, I can't, it's just, I'm sure you were working out a lot, working on your game, recovering from the injury and all that. Just, during that period, but getting back from that and being in a new home, being over at Worcester, getting accustomed to playing with your guys. How has it been since you've gotten there, and how would you say your game has developed since you've arrived on campus there?
Yeah, it's been great being at Worcester. Last year, well, the year before last year, we made it to playoffs, lost first round. But then this past year, we won the Double A championship, which was great. And ever since being there, my game has just transformed. The coaches instilling a lot of confidence in me, showing how much belief they've had in me, and I feel like that's just helped me with belief in myself. I started shooting the three ball better. I started being more aggressive, and it's forced me to. My coaches forced me to be more of a leader. So I feel like that's helped me as well.
And just the leadership side, I think that was really evident with the run that you guys had within the EYBL and then Peach Jam specifically. This past summer, you were with Expressions Elite. Um, I want to say like before I want to get into just kind of the first couple sessions before just Peach Jam and all that, the teams that made it really far in Peach Jam this year and really stood out. Like you guys beat a lot of teams that had so-called like the stars, you guys were a really well-rounded team, and you think about your team also pro skills, Renz as well, just had really well built teams, units like very deep as well. And you guys were one of those teams. How would you say just your leadership abilities and the stuff that you learned from being over at your new high school program and learning how to be more of a leader and be a facilitator, all that? How would you say that helped you specifically within your role at Expressions this summer?
So having to be a leader at Worcester helped me go into expression, especially with Coach Todd. Coach Todd was on me every day, every practice about how I got to open my mouth, how I got to be a leader. And I seen once I started doing that, like the guys, they always respected me, but I felt like they really started to really listen to me because we most of us we've known each other since we were elementary school. So I feel like we already had that relationship. But me coming in, I feel like it helped take a lot of pressure off of the other guys. And I feel like they felt that way too. And I feel like we just enjoyed playing with each other, which is why we had so much success.
Yeah. And then earlier in the summer, just kind of take us through those first couple sessions that you guys had, because I'm sure that was just an not so much an adjustment, but you're just getting accustomed to playing out there, how you need to lead. Particularly you were talking about just practices and how your coaches were really pushing you to be vocal, just what you had to do in terms of being a leader and gaining the respect of the team. Just kind of take us through the first couple sessions of this summer with your team and just what that was like, going against that EYBL competition with your guys.
Yeah, so session one, we went 2-1, which was great. Session two, it was a tougher session for us. We went 2-2, but I feel like that session really it really helped us, pushed us to stay connected and just keep going at it with each other. Session three, I think we went 2-2 as well. But I feel like that session is when we really started to gain momentum and really started to believe in each other and believe in the team. And the coaches kept telling us from the jump, like, you guys play hard enough, you guys defend hard enough to be one of the best teams in here. You guys just got to believe it. And I feel like once we started to believe it, it showed and it helped us.
Session four, I mean, you guys were down in Augusta, Georgia for like what, 2 weeks? Almost,
Yeah, 2 weeks.
yeah, something like that. Just man, like first off, did you guys qualified? You guys had to qualify for Peach Jam at session four, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
so what was the mindset with the team and just that coaching staff heading into that, not knowing like if you guys would qualify, like you guys had to handle business in session four before even thinking about Peach Jam. So what was the mindset? What were the conversations with your guys like, hey, we're trying to be here for a minute, for a while and make a run at this thing. So just kind of take us through this in preparation for session four, just what those conversations were like with your guys.
Yeah, so we would practice every day, and the coaches they would tell us it's just take it a game at a time. Like don't look forward to the next game. Just take a day at a time. And our thing was you just got to win every quarter by 4 points, and we'd be good. So those are some of the conversations we had, and we just had so much belief in each other, which helped us get into Peach Jam.
That run that you guys had at Peach Jam, is there any game in particular that like you would say maybe early on, because obviously the game to get to into the final four was big, and I mean beating a team like Pro Skills that again, like I said, I mean you guys, they're they're a built team, well-oiled machine over there as well, and was another team similar to you guys where, I mean, they had a great season, and I think that they were qualified. I don't think they needed to qualify in session four to get in, but they didn't have the quote unquote like star. Um, that game was huge in particular, but is there any game early on in Peach Jam that you would say stood out and was one where you guys were like, all right, this like we just got to build this momentum and we can really make a run at this chip?
So our first game of Peach Jam, I can't remember who we played, but I know the second game we played Oakland Soldiers. I feel like that Oakland
Yeah.
Soldiers game, it was a big game for us. I feel like we because they had beat us in session four. So we're like, we gotta win this game. We gotta win this game. And that game, we expected to win. We expected to win that game, but we won that game. I feel like we put everyone on notice and showed everyone how well we really can defend and how well of a team we are. We may not have that top 15 guy in the country, but we got a lot of guys that play together, that have fun together, and also have individual talent, but our individual talent matches well with each other.
Yeah. Man, I remember that game. That was like the night before I traveled down to Augusta watching that game against Oakland Soldiers. Yeah, like so you said you guys expected to win that game going into it. I think when you have that mindset heading into it where you expect to win and you're the underdog, like that's hard to get over that hump. But then once you guys did get over that hump, then I think people were really like, all right, you're going to get everybody's best shot after that. Would you say that that was the case? And just how was that? What was that shift in your mindset where you guys were going after the top dog and then now you guys beat them? So what was that mindset shift after that game, would you say?
After that game, I feel like that just helped our confidence, and it shot our confidence through the roof. And after that, we were just like, yeah, we're here now, we're rolling. And I feel like we gained people's respect after that, which was big.
Yeah. Um, so I want to get into just your performance in that tournament specifically. I think just like you said, or like we talked about earlier, just your IQ and getting guys involved, facilitating. I think that was evident just from watching your games over there. But I also think that you were able to show off like your bag, just what you could do, especially around the basket. I know there were some shots, some plays that you made where, you were able to get into the paint and then, just whether that was like an off 1 foot fade away, just kissing off the glass, just certain plays like that, I think you were able to make out there. Was part of your approach like, hey, I could facilitate, I could get my other guys involved, but I gotta go get a bucket, like if need be. Like, was that just your mindset heading into it, just having that confidence where like, all right, I'm a playmake, I'm a facilitate for my guys, but man, if somebody needs to take a shot or make a play, like I'm ready to do that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like coming in, I was just telling myself, just be aggressive, just be ultra aggressive and take what the defense gives me. Whether it's I gotta go score, whether it's I gotta play make for someone else. But I was just trying to take what the defense was giving me. But I feel like I definitely scored when I needed to.
post um Post Peach Jam, walking away from that was your last summer of AAU basketball. Just real quick before we get into kind of this year coming up for you, high school ball, reflecting off of your AAU career, just how would you say, like, what are some of the things that you'll miss the most about those experiences, and how would you say your experience at Expressions and playing on the EYBL prepared you for this next chapter after this year going to play at the next level, college ball?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm definitely gonna miss playing in that Peace Gym environment, which was amazing. I'm gonna miss, those late night walks to Waffle House. So I'm just gonna miss being around my teammates, honestly. Like I said, I've known them guys, some of those guys since young. So I'm just gonna miss being around my teammates, but I'm grateful and thankful for the year that we had together this year.
I think when people talk about Peach Jam, the players and all that. I think that's always something that they talk about is just the bonds that they've built off the court, especially down at Peach Jam where you guys are there for weeks. So just what going to Waffle House, things like that off the court, what were some of the things that, especially this year where you are there for longer than past EYBL Peach Jams have been, being there for 2 weeks this year, just what were some of the things that you guys did off the court that you would say strengthened the bond of the team and were great memories that I'm sure you guys would talk about for like years from now? What were some of
Mhm.
those moments you would say?
Getting food together, just being in a hotel room, just talking about life, just in a room, just playing the video game together, playing college football. I feel like that really helped us strengthen our bond. We would do recovery together.
I saw that.
we would do
Yeah.
recovery together. So
Yeah.
it was always multiple of us in the room together, which I think that just helped us strengthen our bond, as well as having practices 3, 4 times a week. So we were around each other all summer.
Yeah. You guys the recovery you guys had like y'all had I don't know, I saw some videos. You guys had a whole recovery area or somebody like helping you
Yeah.
guys with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What how would you say just with how long Peach Jam was, how important was that just making sure that you guys were well rested? I know the what's it called? This the stuff that you put on your legs, Normatec? Is that
Yeah, Normatec.
Normatec,
Yep.
right? Yeah, just how important was that? Just making sure that you guys were well rested, your bodies were ready for the next day and just the long run that you guys had over there.
Yeah, it was real important, especially recovery, because we only had, I want to say, maybe 7 or 8 guys on a team. So the
Yeah,
recovery was real important, especially for us. And I feel like we took full advantage of it. And just being around each other while doing recovery, seeing each other walking those crazy boots, just laughing at each other. I feel like little stuff
yeah.
like that helped us.
Absolutely. So now I want to get into the year you're about to have coming up, high school ball. Right now I'm sure just working on your game a lot, getting in the gym, continuing to develop your game before this season coming up. And I think after the summer you just had, I feel like you gotta have a certain level of confidence in like, all right, just had a heck of a summer. Now it's time to take that next step. So what's it been like since Peach Jam? Just getting in the gym, working on your game, and what's your mindset now heading into high school season?
Yeah, since Peace Gym, I've just been working out every day, lifting, shooting, getting a gym, or just playing in local stuff around here. So I've just been trying to play as much as I can and just keep having fun playing and working. Just trying to continue all of the momentum I have into this high school season, especially since I want to win again at my high school, especially it being my senior year.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of working with your high school teammates? Just you guys doing group workouts and stuff?
So I have teammates that are from like all different parts of the country. So we seen each other twice over the summer. We had a clinic for little kids in like the Worcester area, and then we had a camp not too long ago for a week with kids in the area. So we were working out, playing pickup, stuff like that. Just seeing each other again and being around each other and playing again. It was good.
Yeah. How do you pronounce it? Worcester?
Yeah,
Worcester?
Worcester.
I butchered it earlier and I was like, all right, that's not how I'm pronouncing it. All right. I know the competition up there, especially prep for basketball up in that area is a gauntlet, I'm sure. So maybe talk like what is it like just going into those playoff environments where, again, like I said, it's earlier in the conversation, it's cold up there during basketball season, and I feel like it's basketball is a sport that people really take seriously. The schools really show out for. I've seen the crowds out there. It gets jumping, I'm sure. So just talk a bit about that atmosphere that you guys play at up in Massachusetts and what kind of player that develops because you got to be a certain type of competitor to be able to go into an away gym like that and walk out with a dub. So how do you say those atmosphere really got you like battle tested?
Yeah, those atmospheres are crazy. Like this past year. to get to the championship, we had to play St. George's at St. George's, which was we were the 5 seed, they were the 4 seed, so that game was huge. Their whole their whole school came out. Our school brought like a fan bus, which was crazy. And that game was packed. We ended up winning that game by I think one. And then a couple of days later, we had to go to Cushing. Same thing. They had their whole school there, and we had a lot of Worcester people there, had our school there. So just playing in that environment, it helped prepare me for Peach Jam, and it's gonna help prepare me for other things because you gotta have real thick skin to go in someone else's school and beat them and have to deal with their crowd.
For sure. Yeah, definitely battle tested for sure. And I think that shows like with Peach Jam and all that, just where you gotta have that dog mindset and be battle tested in order to make it far in environments like that. So I could see that for sure. Last thing, post Peach Jam, what are the recent recruiting updates? Know you picked up some offers throughout the summer. Just what are the new offers you've had interest, and then if there's any official visits that you're looking to schedule or you have scheduled coming up.
Yeah, so since Peach Jam, I picked up UMass, Arizona State, St. Bonaventures, Western Carolina, Fairfield, and Chattanooga. I've heard from I've heard from Georgia Tech, Eastern Middle Tennessee. I've heard from a bunch more schools that aren't coming ahead right now, but I've heard from a
Yeah,
good amount.
awesome. um any official visits you're trying to schedule as of right now, or
So I have a official visit scheduled for UMass end of this month. I'm trying to schedule Western Carolina, Arizona State, St. Bonaventures, and Chattanooga right now.
awesome. Hey, well, Cam, I appreciate you coming on, giving us your time. Congrats on a great summer, and I'm
Appreciate it.
sure you, your family, all that, you guys are looking at what's to come, taking that next step. So, looking forward to watching what that next step is for you this high school season. And yeah, again, just appreciate you coming on, sharing your journey with us.
Thank you for having me.